Okay. I believe I'm live. I'm still gonna double check with you guys. So let me just check my phone, making sure that I'm okay. Sorry, I'm getting too close to the camera. So let's see me 1 second. I'm just gonna double check that everything is working. But if not, just in case, hi, my name is Nathalie D'Souza. I'm part of the Pink Fresh Studio video team. And today we are going to actually spend an hour crafting and chatting. And I think Heather's here. It's Heather, yes. So I'm like I said, I'm just double checking, making sure that it seems to be working right now. So we're gonna take a little bit longer just to make sure that everybody can find us before we start working. I hope you guys are doing okay. I mean, hi, I see the names popping up. I know it's been crazy with Halloween being Monday. And I know for the US, for most of North America, I'm going to say the US specifically, you're getting ready for, Thanksgiving. Canada already went through it, but it's becoming really busy. So we thought that it's a good time for you to start getting prep for your holiday documenting. So we're going to work with that. But before, like I said, we're just going to wait a little bit longer before we flip the camera. We are going to just remind you that if you chat, I see some Erin, Jane, Denise, Esther. So I see some names already popping up. So just remember that if you comment or you share the live, at the end of the live, Heather will draw for a winner for a gift certificate to the shop. And there's a lot of things in the shop available right now besides the newest collection. There's also a promotion this week for, I'm just going to double check because I know I remember. It's remember all those pop-up stamps, the ones that the rubber that you can pop to make different shapes. So make sure you check it out. There, I should think it's 30% or 20%. I'm sure Heather's going to correct me, but that's on sale. So just remember to check the blog. There's always lots of stuff in the shop and all the collections that the newer collections are available in the shop right now. So everything that I'm going to use today is listed in the comment section, so you can easily go and find it because there's links direct to the shop. So I think pretty much I've seen everybody that like I said, we're going to find ourselves here. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are doing okay, that you guys are ready for the weekend. Here in Toronto, the weather, I don't know if it's happening also in the States, but it's insane. I mean, it's going to be 20 degrees tomorrow. I think we talked about it before. I live in an apartment building that has we can control the heat, we can control it and everything. But once it goes on, it warms up the entire building. It goes to a base temperature, and then you can fix it for your apartment. It's so hot because, like I said, it's really hot outside. So it is insane. But you know what? It is, like I said, talk about global warming, it is happening. It is a real thing. So just in case, you guys are thinking, it's the weather here is insane. But again, it's going to change the time on Sunday. So if you're in North America, then you know that we're going to sleep an extra hour, which is a great thing. So I think see quite a few of you, and I'm happy that you let us know where you're watching from. I know I see some names. Some of you guys come already from the States. So I know a few of you come on a regular basis, so welcome again. If this is the first time that you're finding us, then welcome. We like to show you what you can do with the products. And in this time, like I said, we're gonna work on with the Christmas collection, which is Happy Holidays. So you're in you had snow yesterday? Okay, I've been very honest about this. I love anything but summer, even though I come from Ecuador. I don't like the heat because, again, I'm going to say it again. There's only so much clothes you can take out. Okay. With that note, I'm going to flip the camera and get started with showing you what we're going to work on. So again, take me one button. There we go. I'm just covering my hair in a ponytail, so it's out of my way. And we're going to get started. So like I said before, today we thought about I chatted with Heather, and I think it's time to start working on some of your holiday documenting or getting prepared for it. I don't know which way you like to document. So I'm going to drink a little bit of water. I do a combination, actually do an album, a 6x8 album for my entire December. You know, not very strict. I never finish it. I gotta be honest. My Decembers are pretty busy. And I do also a selection of the pictures into 12x12. So today we're gonna work on a layout for a 12x12 layout using the new Happy Holidays collection from Pinkfish Studio. And you can see the entire walk of the collection in the site. So what I pulled today, you're gonna see I have all my little containers over here. So in case you don't, it's outside of the camera. I have all my ephemeras, everything is over here. So I pulled pictures of my niece and nephew, which, you know, I also have pictures of my kids. But I thought today, you know, they just look cute. And last year they had COVID at this time. So we couldn't get together. Plus we were on lockdown anyway. So, you know, my sister sent me the photos and, you know, they're in my album. So I'm going to create a 12x12 to go in my sister's album for her. So what I have done besides my pictures here, and these are, I think 3x4, a little bit smaller. So just so you make sure. So like a little bit smaller than a 3x4. But together, think of it as a 4x6. This is actually this idea that I'm going to give you today, something that you can do with multiple pictures, with one picture, with larger photos. So I thought about it when I was creating this, you know, I was creating this idea in my mind. So I have my pictures on the side. And one of the things that I actually pulled today is the Shaker Stars die. You can see that I have a few cut at the back. So this actually creates, I'm going to show you the negative of this. Because they actually saved it. So what it creates is like a, I don't know if you can see it. You see, it creates like a little stitch edge around the negative piece that leaves behind. So you can create a shaker pocket. And this is why I'm saving this, because I might use it for my album. But what, you know, what the negative piece or the die cut that it creates, it actually creates a star. I'll show you what it creates. So it creates this star that has a stitch border. I don't know if you can see it. The light is, so it has a stitch border around. Okay. But you can actually nest them and then you will have this. Okay. So hope like this. Okay. That's better. And I'm not going to move the light because then it's going to get really dark. Not dark, but you know, so I put it around 7 of like the ones that have the center cut out, because that's going to be the like the basis for my layout. And I'm going to show you what I had this crazy idea, and it happened by accident. So I've cut this out of white cardstock. I actually cut them out of 100-pound hammer mill color cover stock. Did I say it right, Heather? I think I said it right. But those are the ones that, the same cardstock that I used for foiling. That was under Leah and Heather's recommendation. So I have quite a bit of it, and I used it for my die cuts too. I found that it's really sturdy. So I have them here. My idea came to me by accident. That was like, you know, I was actually popping. I was thinking maybe I colored them, and they, for some reason, this just got stuck like that. And I was like, I can build my layout this way. Yeah, so that's how we're going to build it. So you have an idea of where everything started. So I'm going to pull my paper. I'm going to pull my trimmer. Hello, everyone. If you're late, don't worry. I'm just starting. We were waiting for all of you guys to show up before we get started. So I have my paper here. I have my trimmer. I have quite a bit of, you know, just colored cardstock. I also have some white cardstock. I haven't decided on the background yet because I like that to be like a communal thing for some reason. So I want to cut, when I played with my little pieces of paper, this one here is around 3/4 of an inch. And this comes from the journaling pack. And I thought that it was a little bit too small. So I put with a few pieces of paper and realized, I think I saved it here. Yeah, I saved it here. And realized that this one, the one that fits the best, well, not the best, but one of the choices is a 1-inch strip. Okay. And yeah, you see it, it's gonna go like that. We're gonna play with the stars and we're gonna literally thread paper through them. That's what my idea is for today. Okay. So we are going to start with I'm going to start by cutting some paper. I'm trying to see, and I want paper that is, one of the reasons why I didn't cut the paper ahead, so you see what my, my mentality is with this. And I like to go with things that have a solid and a pattern, like alternate them, so everything like syncs in the page without overwhelming it. So I'm going to start with this paper, and I'm going to make sure that I see what side I cut. So I'm going to cut the branding strip. The name of the paper is Winter Wonderland. I'm not going to cut the branding strip. So I'm going to be smart about it. So like I said, I looked around 1 inch is the perfect one. Let's say 7/8 or so. So I'm going to cut strips out of paper to start with, and I'm going to leave them at 12 inches. So hold on. I'm not cutting the branding strip because remember, I have to make more videos with this line, and if I lose it, and I tend to lose things, I'm gonna forget the name of the paper when I have to name it, and I'd rather just keep it. So I'm gonna cut 2 strips out of this. I'm gonna cut one of this because I like the solid part. It has like this line. And then I'm gonna go on the other side, and I'm gonna cut another 1 inch strip. Like I said, a little bit less than 1 inch. If you want to be exact, around 7/8. It doesn't really affect it. If you do it 1 inch, it's gonna be really like I said, play with the paper, see what look you like best. Like I said, I started with that. I started with this. This is 3/4 of an inch. It gives you quite a bit of space. If that's what you want, go ahead. I'm gonna play with a tiny little bit less than 1 inch for what I have in mind. Okay, so you're gonna see that I'm gonna try to get papers that are gonna create a nice pattern. Remember, I said something solid, something with a pattern. That way, when you put it on the cardstock, it doesn't overwhelm it. Okay, so let's continue looking at the paper. I have 7 stars, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna need 7 paper strips. Okay, so I'm gonna just look at the paper, and I want to stay very I like this. It's very green. I need something red and something pink. So let me look in the papers, and you're gonna see that I already have 1 paper left that I used it for a project. I've already cut out some of the paper, so the collection is beautiful. I'm gonna use this paper. The collection is beautiful, very colorful. We're gonna cut a strip of this because this one has like a minty tone, and this we're gonna treat more like a solid. So let's cut, like I said, around 7/8. Okay, go on the B side. And I had so many ideas. I played with a few ideas. Anytime I do a live, I play with some ideas the night before, just like to see what it would look like. And I was thinking about inking stars, and I was like, I like the idea, but it's not that it's a lot of work. It's just I wanted to show you something else that you can do with the paper, that you can use the dye. I was thinking, and like I said, by accident, things just fell into place that way. And I was like, I like that. So I sort of like this candy cane too, just because I want to bring some of that red. Making sure, let me see if I don't have any other reds here. Some pops of yellow, maybe it is red. Let me see. Okay, for now, let's put it aside. So let me just look at the papers that I have here. So you see, I have kind of we're gonna take this even though it has a little bit of a pattern, it's not as busy because the pattern is kind of big, so it doesn't look as overwhelming on like altogether, but this works more as a flat. So you see how I'm working? There is a pattern, there is a flat. I can stick something in between here because of the big pattern, and it's very muted. So I'm able to work this as a solid. My mind was thinking in Spanish, what's the word? So I'm gonna cut 1 inch of this. You can play with vellum, you can use any paper, but I think these papers are gonna work perfect for what I have in mind. Like I said, I need around 7 strips of paper. I'm just trying to think I need to bring more of that green. See, and that's how slowly my papers disappear. So once you cut the strip, then I'm gonna cut this, even though I want to keep this, but I'm just trying to see which way is it, because I like this blue. We don't have any of this blue here. Let me see if I can find something that's I'm gonna cut this blue here. Pretty much, like I said, there's only one paper that is already gone, and it's actually very pretty, but I already used it for a project, and I've had one until this. And you're gonna see that I think I've talked about this before, my cutter doesn't cut straight. And somebody mentioned last time that I was in another group, that actually if I use Fiskars, they have a lifetime guarantee. So you can actually go and, the word's not complain, but you can actually go and ask for the guarantee, and they will save you whatever piece, it's missing or you need to fix. So I might do that because, like I said, my cutter doesn't cut as straight as it should. So I'm just looking at it, seeing what color I'm missing from the collection. I'm going to give you, wait, so you guys have a better idea of what the colors are. So this is pretty much all the pattern. I'm trying to see, this paper is already used up, so I don't have that. I think I need to bring more of this green. Yeah, so this paper here, I think these are the ones that I already used. These already cut out too. I already cut this one up too, so let me just see what I have. Yeah, I kind of like this. So I like this pattern. I'm just trying to see which way is the one that I'm going to cut the less. I'm going to cut the bottom. Yeah. So let's see. So remember that it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just a little bit harder for me to read the comments. But if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, and Heather's there. She'll be able to help you the best that she can. So I'm going to take the branding strip because I'm going to cut this line here. I know I'm not going to use it as this. So just it around 1 inch. Once we have those, then we're going to play with this to build the layout. So I have pretty much every single pattern. Oh, I didn't bring anything yellow. I might accent with yellow. If you look at the pictures, my nieces were in pink. My nephew is in gray. The tree actually has like this blush tone. It's like green and blues. So I know what colors the tree has. That's what I'm not bringing anything yellow, even though my nephew, I don't know if you can see it. My cat nephew is at the back here. Chico's back here. Okay, so my 3 nieces and nephews are there. Okay, so I'm going to actually move the paper to the side because we don't need it for now. And I'm actually going to bring some cardstock. So I brought a piece of vellum just in case this. Let's move this to the side for now. And I was thinking that I actually don't want to go with white. Even though I put some white cardstock. Okay, and I brought white cardstock, well, and like warm white and laid white. I like this this is actually like a light blue. I mean, it's minty. So I thought this one looked better because it's gonna make the stars pop. That's what I went, that's what I based it on. So you're gonna see the stars pop in this and also the paper. So that's what I went when I started pulling out the papers. If I go with something that is white, let me just move it here. The stars kind of get a little bit lost, even though we're going to add some foam adhesive, but you're going to see that the stars get a little bit lost. So I think a little bit of color on the background is going to help for this layer. So and again, I'm going to show you because I like to show you all the options. There's not going to be voting today, or there might be, but I pulled a few papers. So like I said, this is like a light blue kind of minty. I pulled out some pink, which I thought it would look nice, but I think it's too girly and I don't want to make it too girly. And I used a lot of pink. But this one, the collection doesn't have that much of a pink. It's more of like a coral. And then I went and pulled these greens, but I think it's going to be very dramatic. And though it doesn't look bad, like I said, but I want to stay with like the lightest tone. I like this bluish tone here. And I bought gray, and I brought gray because I thought it would look good too. Just, some options for you guys. The gray looks good too. But I like this look here. So, like I said, other days I'm like, what do you think? We're going to go with the gray. We're going to go with the light blue, sorry. I made you happy for 2 seconds. So let me just get this out of the way. Let's take the branding strip out here. And we're going to start building this layer. And this layer is actually kind of easy. It's just about playing with paper. That's all we're doing today. We're going to play with paper. So how you guys doing? Did you guys have a good Halloween? I know quite a few of you guys celebrated. You know, what you guys do? What you guys dress up at? I was a stay-at-home mom. I've been back for 20 years, so no need for me to dress up. So there we go. I have my cardstock here ready. Yeah, the minty blue. I think the minty blue is going to make everything like, you know, everything just kind of, you're going to see all the colors pop nicely on this. Some of them might get a little bit hidden, but that's okay. Once you put the star, and you're going to need foam adhesive for this, okay? Or something like another piece of cardstock or something to make it pop a little bit more. So just see what the idea looks like. So I'm going to pull out all my stuff here. And like I said, I'm going to tell you exactly, I cut 7 with the nested die inside, and I cut like around 3 or 4 without them, because you're going to need them both. And you can cut them out of pattern paper or out of white cardstock and then just color them. I just want them white for this idea. This one is, there we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. You see? Yeah, 7 stars. So my idea is, get this here. Literally, I'm going to start threading the paper through the center of the star, the cutout star in the center. You know what? Well, we live in the apartment, so usually what we do, or what we've done for the past few years, or even when my kids were little, is you just give candy to the main office, which is in the main floor, and they kind of give it away. And because the kids went to school, like obviously around this area, we used to take the kids, like, you know, trick-or-treating with their friend. And my goddaughter and our godchildren actually lived a few blocks away, so we usually used to go to their house and just go trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. We know everybody because, like I said, kids went to school. So I'm just threading the stars through the paper. And I'm going to do that for all of them, and then we're going to play with them. Okay, now, one of the things is you can thread the paper coming from this one here. I went through the top and to the back of the paper. I'm going to do the opposite. Okay. So you really see where I'm going with this. Oh, I'm reading what you had a dragon, you know. I'm just reading what you guys would dress up. Oh my God, I wish my son was Batman for a few years because that was his favorite character. So my mother and I decided I will buy the costume a little bit bigger so it will last him for a while. And I have no shame of saying it, that made him happy, made me happy. You know, it was just one day. That's the way I looked at it. It was just one day. There was no need for me to spend that much money every time. So I bought him. My son was Batman for a few years. So just so you see what I'm going to start, you know, what it's going to start looking like. My son was Batman for a few years. My daughter was a witch. My daughter was for, again, a few years. Then she was a ladybug, a fairy, again, for a few years. I just bought the costume big. And because at that time, and I'm going to say, like, you know, back in the day, and I sound really old, I'm making my, you know, but it used to rain a lot for Halloween. This year, nothing. Every year when we used to take the kids out for Halloween, it used to rain. It used to, like, you know, so they were so bundled out inside, you barely see the costumes. All you see is, like, you know, sweaters, masks, and everything else. So you see what I'm playing with? Okay, so you have an idea what I'm doing. I'm just threading the, I'm just playing with threading the paper. Like I said, I'm alternating how I'm threading the paper. So some of it are going to go from the top to the back of the paper. Okay, like this. Okay, so nothing is glued yet. I'm just playing with the placements. And some of that, because I have pink there, I need to bring like pink. I'm going to bring red down here. Some of it is going to be thread from the back to the front. Okay. So it's just going to be a matter of where you place things. And this is not permanent. I'm just going to, until we see how we sit everything here. I'm just trying to make sure that I have, because I might have to move some stuff. So that doesn't scare me. Just trying to see. And the strips are not going to sit all the way. I'm actually going to trim them. So, don't think that they're going to stay in this position. I might trim them. So I think that this red has to go here. Did I screw it up? No. I like the red, but I think it's just one of those colors that's really strong. So I want to kind of camouflage it a bit. So I want to kind of minimize it. So I might put it down here. And I don't like how the way the stairs sitting. So just a matter of playing. That's what I said. That's what I didn't do this ahead of time for you guys. So you guys can work with me, along with me. So see how I build it, and then you have the idea for yours. Okay, like that. I have this pink that I had over there. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to tell you that one of these is going to be bigger. That I can tell you ahead of time. So one of these strips is going to have 4 stars, and we're going to have 3. I think I want to bring this green over here. Yeah. So let's move this pieces up here. You can make it into a column if you want to. You can make it into what I'm doing, dividing it into 2. Again, like I said, this is not, where they're going to sit. It's just the idea that we're building right now. In my mind, I already know what it's going to look like. In paper, I kind of have the idea what it's going to look like too. So I'm just working at it. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to. And that's what I said. This one's might actually just cut the paper here. It's not going to be 12 by 12. I'm going to cut the strips a little bit more. I'm reading some of the comments. Yeah, so if you have paper strips or paper leftovers, this will be a great idea for those things out, So again, this one here. So the stars are going to, at the same time, you don't want to lose the stars. So make sure that you place your stars in a way that they're going to be showcased. That's what I said. Here, pattern, foam adhesive, it is something that you can glue it right now, but I think a little bit of foam adhesive is going to help. Okay. So I'm just trying to set up everything here. I want to see the stars. I'm going to move this one because I have a piece that didn't cut out of the paper. So kind of like this. I'm just going to move it a bit more. There we go. Behind this. And then this one here is going to go right here. Let's move it behind. And we can move the stars to, a better placement. But that's what I am liking. You see how it's creating kind of a soft diagonal? I can do that. I want to put my pictures up here. Like I said, my stars can move. Okay. So I'm just going to move out this a little bit more. Like my littles right there. And I don't know, I'm looking at it. Like I said, I haven't cut the paper, but I'm thinking that I might actually just cut, not thread it, but actually, let me just do something. I just realize something. If it looks like it's just coming out of the paper, and no, that's not the idea. Literally, it looks like little belt loops. That's the idea that I had. Just a matter of moving the stars so it creates like a nice pattern on your paper. Like I said, you can go with like a line, which is what I had in mind, but I'm liking these 2 little groupings. Because of all the pattern paper, I don't want to make it super heavy on pattern paper because I have all these patterns. I'm just trying to think, what is the best option? Like that. Perfect. And my title can go down here. So what are we thinking? So you see how I have the little kind of movement on my page? Okay. So I have also the leftover stars, so those are going to be popped on the page too. But I like this movement. It's just a matter right now of just working on the strips and starting to cut them. So that's going to take us 2 seconds. Get some of this. And they might not even sit completely straight on the page. So I'm just going to give you a lot of freedom to, like, use your scrap pieces of paper. You can use, use a lot of pattern paper. Just be mindful of how you mix them up. So like here, you see the red is popping a lot, then you know that I'm going to add more white to it just to like kind of tame the color a little bit. Yeah, you can use with the hearts for Valentine's Day. That will be a great idea. I have an idea for Valentine's Day, but don't worry. Once we get there, we will do it. Okay, so I like how this is looking. Let's just give you the perfect placement for everything. So I'm just looking at, I like that. And like I said, all these little stars that I have left over here, the little pieces from the center, don't throw them. We are going to use them. Okay. So I like how this is sitting. Now it's a matter of start. Pair of scissors, some double-sided tape, and some foam adhesive, which I have already here. Actually, something that is a little bit thin. Okay. So I like the colors. Like I said, the only one that I'm not completely in love is the red. I just find that it's very, it's a very strong color. So what I probably would do is just to make sure to tame the color. That's the best way to put it. Probably pop another star here. It's just a little bit of the little ones around it. Okay, so we're going to start cutting some strips. And like I said, they're not going to be completely straight and they're not going to go from edge to edge. This is going to give you a liberty to do whatever you like, so this is where you can do what you like. I like this one here. I like this blue. I'm going to use the grid on my mat to help me keep the lines a bit straight. So I'm going to just move this down so it fits right there. I'm going to take the pictures for now. Okay, so I'm going to use like I said, the line here. And we're going to hope that it's a little bit on the straight side. So there we go. So foam adhesive is my friend, especially for this area. You could link the edges. I thought about it too. I thought of actually creating, and you could. I'm going to show you because, like I said, I play with a few ideas. Another idea was to create a frame with the stars. You could do that too. So link them here just so you have an idea. Okay, so you can easily do that too, and then just add more stars. I just like the little, I like the movement of this, but there's a lot of ideas. You just need to die and play with it. Don't throw your pieces. Play with the pieces that you have left over. Okay, so let's see. This is going to sit right there. And again, you see, I moved the stuff and I forgot how it was sitting, but that's okay. I like that there. So foam adhesive. Yeah, you can do a lot. Just go check. Like I said, everything that I'm using today is in the comment section. So you can go ahead and check, what I'm using is available in the shop right now. We always try to make sure that what we're using is available so you guys have no issues finding it. And today I actually talked to Heather about it before, so we knew that it was available and you can find it. And actually this one is actually, if you're a car maker, it's a great, die to create shaker cars. But if you're just a scrapbooker, it's a great die to create a lot of other things. You're going to see that I am leaving this here. I am going to go ahead and secure it in place. I am leaving the edge here. I'm not going to move it. I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive. I'm going to try to add just a little bit of foam adhesive for now, and then I'll secure it outside of the camera. But I do need to play with some of this for the time being. So there we go. One is ready. Now we're going to go on the other one. I like that there. So, this is going to stay here. I'm trying to make sure. There you go. So I'm going to actually glue it down here with the star and the paper meet. As I said, it's going to take you, if you glue it straight on the page, then go ahead. It's going to take you some time to be careful, going to take you a little bit of time to do that, but instead I'm using foam adhesive. It's going to add some movement to this entire page. There you go. Okay. So I'm actually thinking of minimizing this red. I'm thinking which way. And I think I need to push this star. You know what? It has to move. And that's what you gotta be careful. Okay, so I'm gonna move this star a little bit more. I'm trying to form that diagonal line, so this star has to move a little bit more. Right there. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Because I'm gonna kind of stuff the red right in between those two. That's what I said. This is gonna give you a lot of freedom to, like, play with the design, see what works with your photos. Try to bring the pictures that you're gonna, that you're gonna put here, so you see what works for your pictures too. Yeah, that'll give you more space to move this star here. Okay, the red is gonna be camouflaged with the photos, so I'm just playing with the stars a little bit here. Try to make sure that this is straight. I already moved something here, so this looks. I can form adhesive, and like I said before, I usually secure everything outside the camera. Today is going to be those days that I might take a little bit longer to secure it, just because the design is going to need it. And I'm actually going to cut this one right here. It doesn't have to be completely, like, straight. And so why is this moving? How does this work? Okay, I see what. Okay. So now we're going to put it there in its home. Like I said, this is one of those that I might need to take the extra 5 minutes to secure in pieces in place. But once we set this, it's going to run really fast. So put this here. Okay, that's better. And I do want to add a little bit of the dimension behind it. Okay. I move this. And I can bring this here underneath. So I'm going to move this, play with the star a little bit. I kind of like, actually like that better. Trying to see. Because this part here, my pictures are going to sit right here. I don't mind that it looks a little bit like overlap. So here where different sizes of foam adhesive are going to be your friend. The one that I was using is really, really thin. I want something that is going to create a little bit of the dimension between the stars. So I'm going to add the foam adhesive to the star so it pops from the other star. Okay. Like I said, foam adhesive, it's going to be the one that you're going to use on this paper. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm okay if it goes down. That doesn't bother me. This one here, I want to move it. You're going to see that I'm putting my paper underneath the other star, so that the star pops. And then I'm going to move the paper. I'm just trying to see where I'm going to fit this. I bring the pictures. The pictures are going to sit a little bit more. So I'm going to move this star right there. I like that. Photos are going to sit there, title's going to sit there. So I'm creating the little zigzag. In my pictures, my title's going to be down here. So I have that diagonal. Right where the edge, I'm creating that little, like that join line. That's what's going to look like, my hands. It's where the pictures are going to sit. A little bit of design 101 right there. So again, foam adhesive. That's what I said. It's going to take a little bit longer to set this. One here, and it goes. Yeah, you went to look for the shaker. Yeah, it's, sometimes things come together when you least expect them. And like I said, when I was cutting this, I was like, it just happened to, while I was cutting, the one paper was sitting there, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of nice, kind of cool, something different. And if you don't like it, you can easily also just cut the paper strips. Don't cut the centers of the dies, and then just layer them on top of them. You can put maybe some vellum behind them to give you that, different shape, and then that makes it flat, whatever, works better for you. I don't like this here, that in dimension when I don't need it. I need it behind the star here, and I need it behind the star. So usually this that I do outside the camera is actually happening while we're working on it. But we're almost done, don't worry. And then we're gonna just, embellishing is gonna take us no time. So there we go. Okay, so this star here, you're gonna see already this here, because it's already popping out, that I already know that that paper is probably where the other star is gonna sit, or an embellishment. So it's just give you great placing for this. And you know what will work really good here? If you use the foiled stars too. I don't know what the name of the set is. I think it's the plate. I can't remember the name at the moment. Sorry, but that will work really good here too. The nested foil, hard foil plate with the stars. I was looking, but then I remembered that that's one of the dies. I was like, oh, I already have the shaker die. I didn't, I didn't buy that one. And when I was working it, I was like, oh, maybe we should have bought that one too, but it's okay. It'll go on my wish list. There we go. Yeah, the nested star die set, the hard foil die set will work great in this design actually, because you can have one's foil, one's white, and then you mix makes the little stars pop. I actually realized that when I was doing this, because I think I'm gonna show you. I had foil pieces of paper before for another project, and I might use them, but you're gonna see what it looks like. So I have them here just in case. But I think that will work great too. So I'm just going to see this is coming together faster. My wish list is growing. Oh, Heather can tell you how big my wish list is. Every time she puts Heather is she deals with all the design team, and she shows us what's coming to Pinkfish Studio. And she'll be like, if you guys think like any of this and you're gonna work with it, let us know and we'll try, to make it available for you. And I'm like, I want it all. She's going, oh my God, but it is true. When you see it, it's like, oh, and then sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna work with that, I'm honest. I'm like, oh, okay. And then in cases like this, when I was working on building this, I was like, that shiny star will be great right now. Again, right? But my wish list is huge. Heather can tell you, because she's probably going, oh God, does not show it to Natalie because she's gonna ask for everything. But again, you guys know that I have an obsession and a hoarding compulsion for pretty stuff. There we go. So I'm sure that a few of you are gonna go buy the die. Go at it. Trust me. You're gonna use it, especially for Christmas. It makes a beautiful card. So I have my bottom set. That was quicker than the top. Okay. So I'm gonna cut my edges. For now, I'm gonna leave them long like that. I know this one has to be cut. Actually, this might stay. Let's build this layer. Oh, we're doing great on time. Let's see. So pictures are gonna be sitting here. So let's cut the papers up here. I want to keep this at the edge of the layout. This is time to add some foam adhesive. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of foam adhesive here, just closer to the edge of the paper. I'm just cutting foam adhesive right now. I'm not going to add it to the red because I want to make sure that my picture is going to sit here. So I want it as flat as I can. So I'm just going to lift up the edges here just to give it some, I'm going to leave that down so it shows the difference in paper. So I'm alternating. One's going to sit higher, one's going to sit flat. This one already has a little bit of foam adhesive just to make sure. There we go. So there we go. So I'm just gonna like I said, I'm gonna cut a few of the edges. This one here, I want to cut right at the edge. So paper in the floor so I can sweep after. This one here, I think I'm going to cut it. I'm gonna add a little bit of double-sided tape here And I'm going to cut the excess. There you go. Here, this one's down here. I'm going to cut the excess of this one here. I want it to pink all the way. Kind of like it. These ones I like how they're sitting. I just don't know how far I'm going to take them onto the right. So I'm going to leave them like that for now, and I'm going to work on the picture. For my photos, you know, whether they're going to sit right here. And I'm actually move the photo a little bit more so it kind of continue that line and then move it this way. So you're going to see this is exactly the angle that I'm creating. And so here. Now I thought about actually backing them or using one of these just to pop them a little bit more, but I might not need to add anything behind them. I don't think so. What I'm going to add behind them is some vellum. Okay, so I have a piece of vellum here. I just want them to give that little bit of a frame without taking away from the background. So I'm just going to add a little piece. I'm going to frame my pictures with vellum. I'm going to use the grid here to help me. You know? And I use vellum behind my pictures too, because I think I've had this conversation before. I think it's just a layer of paper that's going to protect my picture for damage. Somebody's leaving. Have a great day. I know it's, you know, it might be a difficult time for some of you because you're either working or, you know, just taking a break. Remember, this is being recorded so you can come back and watch it whenever you have time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know you can add also click on the little bell that will give you the notifications when anybody's going live or there's a new video being added on the page on the channel. Sorry, it's gonna go ahead and trim this. Let's see. There we go. Have them here. Back to my page. And I just realized that one is bigger than the other one. Like a little bit wider. So that's okay. And again, you see how that just creates like a little frame, and at the same time, kind of, even though it frames them, it just gives them a little bit of opacity. You can still see the background, but that takes away a little bit. I'm gonna move them a bit here. That's what they're gonna sit. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to actually go ahead and glue it onto my page. Gonna add some foam adhesive behind it, trying to find one that, okay, here it is. I'll probably say chipboard, but because I have the vellum, I don't mind adding foam adhesive straight onto my picture. I'm working on the computer while I watch. You sound like me. That's what I did too. Put a video, I'm watching TV and, you know, working on something. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it again. I love vellum, especially for like creating frames or anything. I find vellum is one of those things that it should be a must. Again, personal preference, you know, as always. The only thing about vellum is that it could be expensive. For some reason, well, it's very expensive here in Canada, and it's very cheap in Ecuador. So whenever anybody from Ecuador comes over, like, you know, comes to visit, or if my mother goes to visit, or I go down there, one of the things that I hit all the time is just a paper store, and I buy vellum. Like, I can literally buy a pack of 8.5 by 11, like, let's say 10 pieces of vellum, 8.5 by 11, which is the letter size in the US, for like $1 or $3, sorry. And I just bought a pack of vellum for $17 the same size. It just tells you what the difference is. So my cousin usually send me packs of it. So there you go. Okay. My pictures are sitting. Title's going to be right here. there's going to be some additions here. So now I can get to cut the bottom pieces. So now that I know, let's add some foam adhesive behind it. Here. I have the vellum, but you forget to use it. I usually have it on I have a cart where I keep all the things that I'm working on, like really handy. So I usually have a pack of vellum there. Then I have a pack of vellum right next to my printer because I can print, like, my journaling or any digital collections on it. And I am really big on hybrid scrapbooking for my everyday. So I usually have it handy. And I'm going to keep this for now because I really think that this one has to be cut right about there. I'm going to mark it slightly. So it makes it easier for me to cut. There you go. I'm just looking at this one. I might stay a little bit longer. So I'm going to use this line here as reference. And this one, I think I want to cut a little bit shorter. So I'm going to do this to keep it a little bit on the straight now. Okay, now I can actually add the foam adhesive behind it to create a little bit of height. There we go. So, what do we think? Not bad, eh? Like I said, all you need is advice. So let me just give me 1 second. I'm going to clean up the mess. I'm looking at the camera and going, oh my God, it looks so messy. So, 2 seconds. On the side here, I have a little container. I'm not going to throw that. There we go. Just looking at the piece. Okay. Yeah. Did I cut this here? Yeah, I like that. So now let's all about embellishing. I have this ephemera. This is the journaling. It's not journaling. These are the tags, I think it was called. Sorry, I don't remember exactly what the name is. Give me 1 second. I have it right here. It's called tag ephemera. So I have the ephemera, the tag ephemera. I also have the frame, the puffy stickers, and the cardstock stickers. And I have the leftover stuff here. Okay, so we're going to, it's not going to take us all long to do this. So first thing, and the thing that I struggle the most with is creating a title. But I kind of like this because it pops. Like that red is going to bring some of the red from the top. It's going to pop in here. Okay, for now, we're going to put that there. Here. I was thinking of married together. So let me just be, I'm going to use, these are the small puffy alpha, but I think it's going to look great here. So let's see. I'm going to make sure that these pop here. Or here. I don't like it here. I was thinking about this. Let me see if I pull out this one. I don't know, the word Mary is going to sit there. So, see. Okay. We're going to go with this one here. Do that, right? What's the G's? And I like the font. The only thing is because it gives you freedom to just move them around to best fit your project. So I'm going to take the liberty of just moving it to whatever it's better for what I have in mind. So let me just find a little, sorry, I'm going to scooch there. Take the center over the letters. And I'm using the red because it actually pops more here than if I use the green ones. One of the reasons why I went with the red. Initially, I was thinking about the block ones, but I kind of like this red better here. And then H to get there with the H. Yeah. Pop the center of this. Remember, I haven't glued that D in place yet. Another E. We got the center. Do you guys take the center of your letters? I know that I know some people that don't, they just put it like, there. Let's see, I need an R. R. I'm gonna do some. What I don't need, for there's already a little line here to tie it together. There we go. Okay, let's put the alphas away. I'll leave it together down there. So let's add some foam adhesive behind it because we need to pop it here. And I'm going to use some foam adhesive that's a little bit bigger. I'm going to call it wider or taller or thicker. I'm not so sure what the exact word is. So that it pops like above the stars and the together. Just in the back here. There we go. So let's clean up the meat here. Put this over here, perfect. So I have my ticket here. And it's just, I think it's a little bit of like some shining here. And that's what I have also the jewels here. I'm not going to use the enamel dots. I'm going to use the jewels for this layout. Just to bring some bling. And I need to add something around my niece and nephew here. So let's see what I have. This was on the 25th, actually 24th. Christmas Eve. So that's going to be right there. And just so that I don't know, in case I try to move it, I'm just going to add some anti-static powder behind it. Going to keep it tacky, but not sticky. So I'm not going to destroy my picture. Right there. Sorry, it's going to pick up the link. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so here we're going to see what else I want to add around here. Just looking at some of these 10s. Well, this one says 25, so it'll be against what I just put there. I'm going to accent some, like I'm going to add accents of red just because the title has red and I have the red line. I'm going to try to add some red to behind. Trying to separate two things. Nope. So it's here. Let me see what else is. So few things when I was pulling stuff around. And leave it there. Let's go in here. The 12 days of Christmas. No, like I said, my poor kids had COVID that day. Well, my nephew came home with COVID from school on the 10th, and then my sister caught it. My brother-in-law and my niece did not get them, but they had to be secluded. Yeah, so my sister and my nephew were downstairs in the living room. That's where they spent pretty much most of the time, while my brother-in-law and my niece were upstairs in the second floor. So it wasn't like, the most fabulous Christmas last year. Because like I said, we were in lockdown, so it's not like we were, it wasn't on our plans to meet last year anyways, but we never counted with them getting COVID and not being able to, I think they spent the 25th together because it was the last day of the restrictions. I like that. I don't want to over, add stuff there. I am going to add stuff back here. I do want to add something here to in between them. One of this. It's home for the holidays is starting to sound really nice here. I like this one. Okay, I'm just going to see what it looks like. Or if I move this up here. I can actually like it better up here. There we go. This one, like I said, not So you know why I like the circles? Because the different shape of all the like all the straight lines that I have going on. So the circles are actually gonna kind of soften the look of this page. So that's what I'm liking that. I want this. And really this little joy. Let's see. Get the stars from back here. I'm gonna get the small stars. I told you I'm gonna need one right here. And I'm gonna pop it with some foam adhesive. And I'm gonna need another one down here. And pop it with some foam adhesive. And the joy. This here is gonna get this little present. Let me see if I don't have anything that small over here. Just looking at what I have. And something like around like that. If I don't have it, then I might make it. So this little, give me 1 second. I saw this little, where we go? No, because it covers the entire stuff. So let's just go with something from here. Go with this little circle. Yeah, I like that. Just to bring more of the circle look onto the page. So let me see what else we're gonna add. I think I need to add another star up here. Let's see. Yes, and then I need to add another one up here, just so it kind of breaks that line. Yeah, so a little bit of foam adhesive. And we're almost finished. Hey, not bad. And then we're gonna add some bling. And I'm gonna add a few more embellishments, don't worry. Here, I just want to, if I want to put it down here. Let's see. Should be right there. And I'm thinking that I need it to be just to create that line on here. So let me just see. There we go. Okay, I need something over here. So let's see. Merry Little Christmas. I'm actually put it. I don't know if this looks good here. Trying to see. When I did in blues. There we go. Let's see if I put it on here. I think it needs something down here just to highlight the title. So then I'll just see what I'm going to put here. I saw something here. Okay, there you go. I'm going to kind of put it a bit there. And see. No, I don't like this. You know what I might have to do is just move the title and add another, like something white here, just to make the title pop a little bit more. I'm just looking at things right now. What I think I messed up in. I do like this Christmas Eve, which I think it has to go right here. But no pointing, but like that. I like that better. And then, like I said, I'm going to add the bling. I'm going to add my lines of journal. Well, I'm going to leave it empty there for my sister to add the lines of journal. I'm just going to go right here. And it's here. Can see what else I have here. I don't want to bring anything red because I don't have anything red going on, but it needs shine. With my little blingy things. I'll smooth this out of the way. Let's go. And yeah, it needs a little bit more embellishing. So I'm going to do that right now. And I'm using, these are the jewels, which are the ones that have the flat back. I'm going to go with green. And I was looking at the glitter ones, which is another one that actually would look great here. but they were sold out. So I want to make sure that I add them here. And I'm going to kind of mirror that down here. So just two. And then we're going to look at another color, kind of this corally tone that is down here. Right there. We need to bring it down here too. Okay, so I'm see right there. Let me see. This is minty tone. It's gonna be right here. I don't know the names exactly. Sorry, I don't have little packages, but I want to get the minty tone right here. It needs a little bit. I know that the white one is the one that I do know the name for. Big and Kaiser. This one's going to sit right here. It's going to sit right here too. And we'll put 3 here, and then it's going to come down here. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to add a few stickers. I got to go outside of the camera and just add them. But there'll be something here, maybe something here, and it needs something down here. So actually, I found something. And I took the little sticker. I see here. Oh, harsh coupons to Christmas. I kind of like the red thing there. See it? Probably move it. You can camouflage it down there. I like that. So there we go. Clean up a bit more. A little bit messy. And I'm going to flip the camera. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Not bad. I can see you and I can see you. Hope that gave you a few, like, for your projects. Like I said, maybe this line, I'm going to cut it a bit. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff and I'm already realizing what I'm going to do. But this is going to be cut out here. So, yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, for some reason, the chat got disconnected. But I'm going to flip it so I can see you. I don't know what happened, but the chat was disconnected. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's something to do with the connection or anything. Let me just double check. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see what happened here. For some reason, the chat is disconnected, so I don't know if this, and what happened, if anybody's texting me right now. No, but just in case, I'm going to see if Heather is okay. So let me just, like I said, sorry, guys, it's not, I don't know what happened. It's just the chat is disconnected. I'm seeing that the live is happening. It's just, oh no, everything disconnected. Okay. Yeah. See, I can. Heather's telling for some, yeah, it's still working for you. Okay, so it's just on my side. I'm sorry, Heather. I was just trying to find you. Thank you. The winner is Erin Copen. I hope I'm saying your name. Like I said, for some reason on my side, the chat went off, but it's still working for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. I don't want to mess up something here along the way. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, thank you, Heather, for helping me. And I hope to see you soon. So we'll see you back in a few weeks with another project. Okay? So take care, guys.